Hello everyone and welcome back to another weekly Bitcoin portfolio update video. If you're new, welcome. Basically what I do in these weekly updates, I go over Bitcoin charts, I go over my core Bitcoin portfolio as well as a side portfolio that I have for just taking advantage of the short-term fluctuations. And I'm going to be going over as well as MicroStrategy and Mara stock towards the end of the video. But with that being said, everything I'm going to say in this video is just my own personal opinion. It is not financial advice. And guys, also I'm gonna throw in something extra. I feel like I should have said this last video and I always procrastinate, but there's something, to me it's sort of an eye-opening, it's something eye-opening for some people to hear if they're not too aware about it, and if they are, maybe the way I say it kind of, you know, to hearing something you may know a different way may be very beneficial. And if you don't know, well, I'm gonna tell you guys something towards the end of this video. It's supposed to motivate a lot of you that maybe are looking for something to kick that motivation going. But I am going to give that my opinion on that as well. But yeah, guys, going forward, everything is just my own personal opinion, not financial advice. When we do jump into the actual charts and all that extra stuff that I'm gonna give you my opinion about. Also, guys, this Friday, I have I shared with you guys previously. This is something I want to show you guys. I ordered an Alienware PC desktop, but I was doing more research because I'm like, well, how are they selling a 4070 graphics card with a 13 Gen i9 with only 500 watts, including a dual fan AIO, 24 millimeter, I believe. And I was like, this doesn't make any sense. And then a lot of more research. I did a ton of research that day, and I found out that actually their graphics cards and their are actually kind of like clocked down, or not really clocked down, but I think they're using laptop GPUs in there, like the equivalent. I don't know what it is. There was a lot of things that were like, it wasn't settling well with me, and I think their i9s are also clocked down, and you can't really. Anyway, it's just it was a whole turn off. I didn't really like it too much, so I canceled the order, and instead I ordered the Pro M4 Mac Mini. I pre-ordered it. So this should be coming in Friday, and then I want to get it going. I want to do a couple days of doing like pretty lengthy multi-hour live streams just to see how well it holds up. I want to put it to the test before I really start doing stuff with it. But I thought the Pro M4 Mac Mini would be a perfect choice because I got an ultra wide monitor in front of me that I'm not currently using, and I want to get a second monitor, but I want a powerful enough system where I can do all of this and then maybe play a little light game on the side. Just to a little bit extra content for trading live. Why not play a little something on the side? But yeah, we're gonna jump into all of this as well in a moment. But quite basically, we're up actually. Our portfolio is up quite a bit. We're finally up, a little bit more significantly in the last update video. We're up $5,000 currently. Bitcoin is trading close to $75,000. I believe it hit 76,000 like earlier today or something like that. With the U.S. elections favoring Donald Trump. So I'm gonna actually go over real quick a trade I made, and this time I'm actually prepared and I have a screenshot for you guys. So November 4th, I added about 172 shares of BITU because I'm gonna go over. I'm going to illustrate to you guys the real reasons why when we get into the Bitcoin charts, if you're new, if you guys haven't been keeping up with me. But then the day after, on the 5th, I bought another $5,000 worth, and then 338 shares. The day of election, I thought to myself, well, Bitcoin's trading at a really good support. It's there's enough bullishness right now. It's holding well. It reached our extreme support areas, and I thought, yeah, this is looking really good retracement, really good length for the dip, and then I thought, elections are tonight, which on the 5th I said this, elections are tonight, and so I'm thinking, it's favoring Donald Trump, and I'm like, I think it's a good idea to go ahead and add another 5,000 to it, bringing up my total investment to 10,000. And it worked out. Today is the 6th, right? The 6th today, I sold 338 shares at 35.36, which resulted in a $1,800 profit. So really good trade. I didn't mind selling this. I'm gonna get into that in a moment. The core Bitcoin position though, you guys know I am planning to hold on to this for like a while, to like probably like the end of the third quarter, possibly even early fourth quarter of 2025. I'm planning to hold on to this for another year. At least that's the goal. Because I believe we have a lot of headroom ahead of us, especially because more ETF investments, and then it's just becoming bigger, especially now with Donald Trump in office for U.S. president. This is very, very positive for, like, for example, someone like me that's pays a lot of attention to Bitcoin. As a supporter of Bitcoin, I like to put money into it, taking long positions. So this is very good for me and a lot of you as well. So I believe Donald Trump has a lot of really, really good plans, not just for everything that presidents do, but for Bitcoin. I believe he has a lot of really good plans. So right now that Bitcoin is finally retracing down, I'm probably gonna add more to. I'm gonna open up a new BITU position soon, but I'll go over that in a moment. We're still holding on to 1.139 shares. I have not touched this whatsoever since late March. We're just holding on to 1.139 Bitcoin, $80,000 invested at $70,000. We're up just over 5,000 right now in this portfolio. We'll see what it looks like, going towards New Year's eventually soon, and then throughout 2025, I believe we're going to hit 100K Bitcoin by the end of the year. That's just my personal opinion. But you can even say at least 90,000. I feel like that's absolutely fair. But I believe 100,000. And by the time Bitcoin reaches roughly 88 or 89,000, this portfolio should be worth 100K. So it'll be really nice to see 6, primary digits here. So yeah, 1.139 Bitcoin. We're not doing anything. We're still holding on to this position. And then, of course, for some context, BITU, we were like down here. I added because I'm like, we surpassed the lowest point of this retracement area. So I'm like, it's a good time to start buying. You guys already know that if you've been watching. And then once we reach higher, we came back down and we got close to this previous swing high right here. This previous swing high, we got close to it. And then with that, which actually I'm curious right now. I'm curious real quick. Super curious. Does this overlap? Ooh, it bounced off perfectly right off of that. That's interesting. I think that's very interesting. We're going to clean this up a little bit. But basically, with that being said, I added again here because the price bounced up. We're starting to hover up here. We're getting closer to our elections. And I'm like, you know what? Things are looking good. The retracement's healthy. I strongly believe that Donald Trump was going to be the favored president, like the candidate. So I'm like, you know what? I added more to that position. And then next thing you know, bam, the price started going up higher. I believe word on the internet was, like, if Donald Trump is elected, we should see $80,000 Bitcoins at least. He was elected, and then hours later, through like the rest of the 6th of November, like we're still hovering around here. We're like down here. We're not really making like much moves. Kind of overbought. It can definitely bounce up again, but I'm like, we're kind of up here a little bit too much. So with that being said, I'm like, I feel like there's a mistake on the internet. The momentum isn't completely there to reach 80K that quickly. So I ended up selling, and we made a really, really good trade. $1,800 on like a 3-day long trade, 15%. Basically, I feel like, I'm very, very happy with that. And especially the price came up into our green area finally. We kind of got rejected here, came down, and then quickly bounced back up. We reached this green area, so it's a minimum requirement for me to just sell. And I thought, Since I don't really need the money, and a lot of this just goes to a separate account portfolio where I just accumulate money and just let it sit there for for taxes and for like emergency expenses or whatever. I you know all my expenses are recovered. Plus later, I think in like next week, I'm gonna receive an update on a private real estate placement I wasn't a part of for like 2 or 3 years, and they're gonna pay me out on it later this month. So like I don't really need any of this trading profit to get through my my months and the rest of the year and whatnot. So I'm like, you know what, since I don't really need it, since I'm not trying to be too hopeful, I sold out of that BITU position right here. And next thing you know, we're starting to dip down a little bit lower. But with that being said, I do personally believe that, yeah, there's still plenty of momentum here. I feel like any pullback within this pullback right here, this rally, it's an amazing opportunity to buy. But I am going to be very, very serious about something right now. We have all the rest of this area. We can easily fill in the gap between the 1.236 and the 1.38 at a minimum as well. Like we can easily reach up here. As of right now, we're just sitting there, and with the second wave being down here, which is interesting too, because this is sort of like a 1-2 extended third wave up. So we can extend this up even further before we have like a fourth wave correction that can be like kind of crazy a little bit. But I don't think so. I can give you guys a ton of different scenarios for this, but I personally believe that the momentum is there, the juice is there. So with that being said, I personally believe that this little imbalance or value gap, whatever you want to call it, right here, am I able to fill this in? I always forget if I can fill this in. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, we'll do that. And then we'll make it like green. Yeah, so this will be like a continuation. If we can find support within this area and push up higher, that'll be great. Because reason being, just on this 4-hour chart, is that, yeah, of course, we can easily bounce off of this too. We have enough, like, we have fluctuation right here, which can easily act as a magnet, just like this area right here. But even if the price reaches close to this area, even breaks into this area, I'm going to be buying BITU. I'm going to be opening up another BITU trade. No problems, no questions asked, because maybe even tomorrow, if we can continue to dip down further, if we can break below $74,000, which is where a lot of this consolidation is right here, to me, I personally, I'm looking to start buying again. This is a healthy enough rally. Things are looking good. There's a lot of possible, especially since all-time highs were right here, right here. This is like just under 74,000. Like really, we're gonna have all this good news coming out, a lot of this anticipated news that wasn't guaranteed, and then we push up higher, and we're like, we're like $2,000 basically above all-time highs. Like I feel like that's very, very shallow as well. So like any pullback here, I obviously the market's closed, I can't buy BITU, but like if we can see lower prices flirting with 74 or lower, especially coming into there, I'm going to be accumulating all within this area, because I do believe that the next support can happen at any moment in here, and then we can easily just make one more stretch higher. I feel like that's very, very appropriate. That's very healthy. And for those of you that like trend lines too, like, pretty much respected this trend line here quite well. Resistance, but yeah, I'm looking at support again, and to begin a new BITU position real soon. I'm just repeating myself at this point. You guys know what I'm talking about. But then you can be like, oh, all right, well, what about like a more reasonable correction, right? Because like ever since this jump up, yeah, we had a reasonable correction here. The next leg up, kind of shallow, but still it worked out. Minimum requirements are met. Next one up, very aggressive correction, and the next thing you know, push up higher. We don't really see nothing too crazy here. It's just, it would be silly for this to be like a major top at this point right now. I do believe it's just nothing to worry about. But for those of you that just like, let's do, for those of you that like more reasonable corrections, just to keep an eye on it, just to have it in the back of your head, like, yeah, this is still very possible. We can easily see a correction down into this area as well right here. Absolutely possible. But if this were to happen, this will be very short-lived in my opinion. So far in November, we're up. Let me refresh this. We're up basically 7%. Looking real good. Average for this month is 43%. That's a lot, right? That's a lot. So if you want to go off of historically, like look at this, 5%, 12%, 449. That's awesome. Crazy. 8%. So it's like, just because this number is well above 20, 30, it's at 43, like it doesn't mean this has to be up there. But I do believe we are in a great position to actually see, definitely plus 10, plus 15 at a minimum. When it comes to also Binance, this is also why, not Binance, but the Bitcoin heat map. Basically, there's not much support, like clear support, like we've seen previously before, right? So we have this big rally during the elections, and then we have another little bit leg up. So we had a correction, and then we had another push up higher, which is kind of worrisome because, like, we had that push higher here. We don't have to see a third push higher, although I wouldn't be surprised. But then there's no clear support. There's no strong like liquidation wall acting as a support anywhere down here. So it's like, even all of these major ones. There's one down here for BitGet, but it's like 73. What does that actually look like? 73. Look, oh wait, up here. Yeah, see down here, so like 73 is right here. Basically, the rectangle, which is acting right currently as a magnet until we start seeing a higher high. It's seeing that like support. It's acting as support. Jeez, I cannot speak. And then if you consider this whole move up, just like that, and then for this one we can change that one up. That's fine. And then this is like acting as support right there as well. This is aligning very, very well together. So it's like, yeah, we can easily see that happen. So like, just be patient. Like, there's no reason. And I've learned this the hard way. There's just absolutely no reason to be forcing trades. Like, no matter how much good news there is out there, it doesn't mean that we have to see prices go up higher. Like, you have no idea. I remember I've been trading. I think it was like 2020 or 2021 or something like that. I don't know. There was, or 2022. Either way, there was like one moment, like, there's so much good news. There was like a Tesla trade I was working on, and it was like so much good news, and there was like an Amazon trade, and really good news as well, and like it just kept dumping. I'm like, what the hell? I lost a ton of money. I wasn't using stop losses, but I've learned many times that no matter how much good news there is out there, focus on the charts. Let the news be like one Lego piece in the overall Lego project, right? Like, you see all of these. Let's look at Kraken, because I kind of like Kraken. I'm thinking of making an account with them. Yeah, like none of these are showing, not even the major one, Binance. None of them are showing super strong support anywhere around here, indicating that the possibility of seeing prices coming into this green briefly is there. It is absolutely there. There's nothing stopping it on its way to there. Although, like I said, I'm gonna be slowly adding to this, because any pullback right now, honestly, I believe it may take a while to play out. Like, honestly, I feel like my next trade with this one might take like the next 3 weeks or so, but we'll see how that goes, right? And then of course, easily we can just see prices kind of quickly tap this red area down here, which is absolutely possible as well. And then like, it's just, there's really not much else to it for that. So yeah, we sold out BITU, decent profit, really good for 3 days. And then when it comes to Mara, so let me give you guys Mara and MicroStrategy, and then some like a little eye opener for a lot of you guys. So, and this stays true. This stays true. As you guys can see, right? Like I've tried to explain this a little bit differently in every video. I feel like I fail at that sometimes. When it comes to Mara, right? I'm gonna be super real with you guys. I'm gonna be super real. If you guys are trying to invest in Mara as basically pure Bitcoin exposure, please reconsider. In my opinion, please look at a Bitcoin ETF if you don't want to buy Bitcoin itself, right? Because you already have a brokerage account, you can't buy Bitcoin on there. Maybe you want exposure in an alternative way through. Just please look at MicroStrategy, look at like a Bitcoin ETF, look at stuff like that, because every bull cycle or every halving cycle, whatever you want to call it, lower highs every time, right? Every time lower highs. My estimate for this bull cycle top starts at $45 for Mara, and we might not even hit it, but I do believe we will briefly. But I believe it's going to top out, which is going to be lower than the previous top. It's going to be down here, right here. We will see. Obviously, anything can happen. Maybe there can be like a complete change in just value, the way these mining companies are valued this time around. But I'm going based off of what I know, not what the possibility could be. I'm not going on any could be's, what ifs, none of that. Every single top cycle is lower, indicating that. And I got this one based off of the start, so a fib extension from here to the third wave high, and currently our fourth wave low. I got this area up here. So at a minimum, $45 is the bull market cycle top. Please understand that if you guys are buying Mara for pure Bitcoin exposure, it's tough because look, Bitcoin's making new all-time highs, and guess what? Mara is not. It's not even breaking the previous $34 high up here. It's not even breaking this high at 27. Like we're almost at 20. But now that we understand that Bitcoin has reason to see a correction back into this imbalance, acting as a magnet, finding support around here at a minimum. It can even happen right at the top of the the 0.35. It can absolutely happen. We can easily see lower prices before we start seeing higher prices. And again, based on the heat map, based on good news doesn't mean higher prices. Good news just means good news to reassure you of trend continuation, but proper healthy trend continuation. Expect a correction. Like it's I don't know how else to say it, but yeah, I'm in an ideal situation. In order for me to open another BITU trade, I would ideally like to see prices break back below the previous all-time high. But yeah, it's awesome to see Bitcoin higher. But I'm just trying to be realistic with the price structure. That's what I'm being realistic with that. And then if that were to happen, guess what's gonna happen with Mara? And I kept saying this many, many times. Every time we're in this green area, it's a good idea. I kept saying, every time we're in the red, good idea to accumulate. In my opinion, good idea to accumulate. If we're in the green, it may be a good idea to start selling because there's always a lot of pressure there. This value gap right here in the middle is always acting as a magnet. We're always seeing the price come down into it and break back up, down, up. There's no reason to be over invested in something that just isn't being valued, in my opinion, how it should be currently. It's being valued very differently. They have a lot of expenses. Break down their balance sheets. Look at their monthly productivity updates, like whatever that document is called. It's a good, like if you guys were paying attention to this, hopefully if you did accumulate down here, once we broke into this red, hopefully you guys took some profits. Like who knows? There's a good possibility that this is gonna be what is it exactly all the way just to here. There's an easy chance this can drop 5 to 10% tomorrow. It's absolutely possible throughout the rest of the week. Who knows what the rest of the week has to offer. But currently, we're seeing like, it's time for a little bit of a breather on Bitcoin, indicating that, Mara can take a breather too, and we're going to fall back into this little value gap, which I always say, please, how I'm doing this is that this is a do nothing area, because the price is always deciding what direction it wants to go, to have a break of structure, like form some liquidity one way or another. Do nothing area. Red accumulate, green begin to sell, do nothing area. I wouldn't be surprised if it's tomorrow or even sometime by the weekend we'll see prices below this 0.35 once again. It's not a good time to be along if your time horizon is very small, very short. When it does come to MicroStrategy, right? We broke back into this. We were trying to do a retest. At this point, like, we can easily just come back down and retest this ascending support once again before even going up higher. Like I said previously, last video, any weakness in this stock, it's a good idea to start buying. Any weakness, I don't care. The price is it's stretching up so much higher. Like, it's time. It's time to like have a reasonable correction in the stock. Well, the thing is, this stock is just the amount of like leverage, like the structure this stock has, like fundamentally within its business. The amazing CEO, marketing in this business, like they're really taking advantage of the thing. They, MicroStrategy and Michael Saylor want to keep buying till Bitcoin reaches, I don't know what, 8 million or something like that, 6 to 8 or something like that. Like, and man, they just have a really good business in the background too. I feel like they're really doing a really good job. They're just aggressively accumulating, especially right now with Bitcoin. It's having a little bit of a correction, but it's beginning to like show like it's getting it's just getting ready for like that real next leg up, right? The real next leg up, like reaching 80k plus, like finally reaching 80k for the first time, because we've already been in the 70s, broke back down for a while, and then we're back up into the 70s. But that 80k, right? I'm gonna continue to say this. Any weakness in the stock currently, is just a good buying opportunity, guys. Like, forget the TA. It's just, we're gonna be at $300 in the stock at no time. And then don't worry about any of these. Like, all these numbers are there for now. I can't put them anywhere else. But yeah, guys, any weakness in the stock, it's just that. I don't know what else to say. And I forgot to say this in the beginning of the video. So with this Mac Mini I'm getting, I really want to start live streaming, and this is gonna allow me. And I do believe I'm making the correct choice purchasing this Mac Mini M4 Pro, because I believe it's gonna let me live stream. It's gonna let me do my stuff, have all my tabs opened up, and not see any slowdowns. I upgraded my internet. My internet is much faster now. I feel like I'm ready. I also have, like, this mouse has been holding up really well. The microphone's holding up well. Camera's alright. I'm hoping that this new Mac Mini will also let me, like the video camera you're watching me through right now. Sometimes there's a little bit of like a flicker or something. I don't know if it's because my MacBook isn't putting enough power into it, or it could be my adapter. I have no idea, but it's a good brand adapter. I think it's just the laptop or the MacBook, whatever you want to call it. And then I have this keyboard right here. I haven't even opened it yet. It's been there for like 3 months. MX Keys Mini. I'm very excited to use it. I might unbox it tonight for fun. I don't know, but yeah, guys, it's just like, I believe this is gonna let me create or be able to maintain better content for you guys. So then it's just more engaging, more entertaining, and I do appreciate if you stuck around this long. So that's why I'm going to tell you guys this eye opener thing. I believe it's an eye opener, and maybe some people just need to hear it. With the amazing technology we have right now, all the information, and at the end of the day, it's basically this, right? We have amazing tech. Like I just did a research in front of you, technical analysis. You can go on Google and look up Bitcoin and look at all the news that's coming out. You can do research on companies or analysts. Like just yesterday, I was looking at the elections like live in front of me. Like all this information is just streamed to you. You can watch this on your phone. You can do all this and that, do all this research, and like, and then potentially like create capital or increase your capital by making these investments all online on the same devices. You can get all this information. So through a trader's and an investor's point of view, since I've been doing this for like at least 8 years, since I was like in 10th grade, um, and I'm in my early 20s. I'm currently 23. I so who knows? Maybe I'm young, so who knows if I know what I'm talking about, right? But basically, with the amazing technology we have in front of us, and I grew up with this tech, and it's like it still amazes me. This tech, you can carry it, you can put it anywhere. Like you're connected, you have all this research, and you can create not just amazing things, participate in the world through the internet and create amazing content and create products and participate in things and play video games, go on adventures with people and all that. And then with all this in front of us, all this accessible to you, you can like buy and sell these assets. And then you have, and then you have the human aspect of it where it's like FOMO, and it's like making these mistakes, rushing, being impatient, not understanding how to just sit back and look at a chart. Maybe it'll be like, oh, I'm gonna sit back for the next 2 or 3 days and not do anything whatsoever. Sit back for a week or two. Like everyone's just like forcing themselves to like participate in something in a rushed way, and then you have like addiction for like instant gratification, and then like all this amazing technology and potential in front of us, and more of it keeps coming out every year, and everything just gets better. And then a lot of people are ruining it by just being impatient, not understanding how to control their own mind, being able to like just sit there, focus on your breathing or something, and then like exiting your body and like watching yourself from a third point of view, and really like having that like perspective on like the amazing position you are if you have this tech in front of you for watching YouTube at all. You're watching YouTube, you have a freaking phone, you have a laptop, a desktop, a computer, this, that, like an internet connection, like you guys have no idea how incredible this is, how fortunate we are to be here right now, and being able to actually participate in these markets and do it, and have the ability to do it correctly, in my opinion. But we're all just like forcing it, like getting in and out, like because we feel like just because like confidence builds up and we have this tech, like we start to get this like sense of like we deserve a successful trade, we deserve, excuse me, amazing 10+% gains every 5 minutes or something like that, or whatever. It's like guys, man, we're just fortunate to have this tech, and we are not deserving of anything. We are not deserving of any kind of wealth, any kind of prosperity or anything. That is something that is just naturally given to us if we have the patience, if we can look at something and analyze and understand, like breathe, step back, do this, do that, don't do anything, do this again, manage it, understand how to do research, understand that there's like bias in what you want to happen, so you're like always naturally gravitating towards research that like confirms that biasness, instead of like looking at everything, understanding what's really most likely. Like I want Bitcoin to go up, I want Bitcoin to just skyrocket, but I understand short term, like we can see that correction, we have that imbalance, there's a few indicators showing like a few things from the chart itself, the way the candles are formed, and especially in that 4 hour, like telling me that, it's a good time to be patient. I might not even open a new trade tomorrow. I might just chill. Like, nothing comes easy. It's always so important to just sit there, understand that great things take time, great things take practice, and take proper research, consistency, and knowing how to like talk to yourself and see like, okay, like, how are we doing this week? Is there anything we should work on with our emotions, how we're handling our trades, how we're handling our mindsets? Do you feel that energy kicking up? If you're like, you got a whole day, a whole half day without taking a trade, and it's like, is that energy kicking up? Or you like feel like you're getting impatient? That's something I feel like everyone needs to work on if you're in that situation. Hopefully that made sense, guys. Hopefully you understand how it already takes a clever mind, or it already takes like an incredibly intelligent mind to understand all this information, make sense of it, and then place a buy or sell order. But on top of that, you don't just have the ability to do research, but you have the tech that lets you do all this stuff all in one. Like, so many brilliant minds out there in the world that wish they can just spend like one day with a computer or even like a smartphone that you can do all this research on and stuff like that. It's like, oops, I opened my camera. It's just because we have this tech doesn't mean anything. It's what you do with it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, guys. We're just sticking to 1.139 Bitcoin. I'm not going to touch this at all this year. I'll catch you guys in the next video, most likely tomorrow, and take care.